Hi guys, Get Your 64 here, and today we're talking about the physical media releases for the month of May in the year 2025. This is the new release wall. If you're new here, the way I do this, we split this video up into 4 sections. We'll talk about the new release movies first, then we'll look at the Steelbooks, then we'll look at the older movies getting releases here in the month, and then we'll look at TV and box sets. We won't be talking about every release here in the month. We will be talking about most of the releases this month. So at the end of this video, if there was something that I didn't cover here, feel free to continue that conversation in the comment section below. I still can't believe we're almost halfway through the year already. This is just insane to me. But anyway, with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, we're going to kick off the new release wall with probably one of the biggest releases for a lot of people this month. As far as the new releases go, Captain America: Brave New World is getting released on Blu-ray. There's also a Blu-ray Walmart exclusive. Now you can see it's got a different cover there. It is a slip. Now, this actually is a pop-up. I actually picked up the Walmart exclusive Deadpool and Wolverine slip because I thought this slip was a lot better than the other options that were available at the time. And there is a little pop-up. It's like a little pop-up book, a little bit of a 3D thing there that doesn't really pop out that much. So if you're expecting some big pop-up like they actually advertise, that's not really the case. I got this one because I like the slip. I don't think this slip is as exciting as this one, but hey, that's it's up to you. That is an option that is available through Walmart only. And as you can see, here's a picture of the pop-up, and it makes it look a little bit more 3D than I think it actually looks. It's going to look in hand based on the Deadpool and Wolverine pop-up. And then there is a basic 4K option. Now, what's interesting about this, the fact that there is a basic 4K option, is that with all of the other Disney stuff, they have not been releasing basic 4Ks. Marvel seems to be the outlier there. What they've been doing is they've been releasing 4K only Steelbooks. So only premium 4Ks. I covered that in my current state physical media on Shifting Sands video that I did last month. But for Marvel, they seem to be continuing, at least for now, to offer the basic 4K options. So pretty boring cover in my opinion, but at least the basic 4K option is out there. There is a Steelbook option. We'll talk about that when we get to the Steelbook section of the video. Next up, we've got a movie called Black Bag. This is with Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender, both great actors. Also, Pierce Brosnan is in this. It's a spy thriller about a married couple. And I've actually heard some pretty good things about this. I've heard people say that this is the best movie of the year so far. I've not seen it yet. I am looking forward to checking it out. There's a Blu-ray option as well as a 4K option, which does have pretty much the same art there. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Next up, we've got Mickey 17 coming out on Blu-ray. This was the new Bong Joon-ho movie. I was looking forward to this. I thought the trailer looked pretty interesting. The concept was interesting. This was on my anticipated movies list that I did at the beginning of the year because I like Bong Joon-ho's other movies. I liked Parasite. I really like Snowpiercer. I think Snowpiercer is very underrated. However, what I've heard about this one made me not want to go see it in theaters and made me want to wait till physical or streaming to check it out, because most people are saying that the first half is pretty good and the second half is not good at all. Again, that's just based on what I've heard from multiple different people. I haven't seen it myself. I'm still going to probably give it a shot, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. But the Blu-ray option and a 4K option with a different artwork, I actually prefer the Blu-ray option maybe. I'm not really big on either of the art, to be honest, but that one is coming out. It's not dual packed. We've also got Steelbook, which we'll talk about the Steelbook section. And then we've also got one thing that I was kind of excited about. I actually missed this one in theaters. I wanted to go support this in theaters. The Looney Tunes movie in theaters. And it wasn't in theaters very long, unfortunately, so I kind of missed the window there. I did pre-order this Blu-ray because I'm a big Looney Tunes fan, and I'm hoping it's pretty good. For people who've seen it, seem to have liked it. If you're a Looney Tunes fan, it's also sci-fi oriented, which sci-fi is my favorite genre. So, you know, I'm looking forward to checking that out. Kind of like an Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Looney Tunes. We've also got Better Man coming out. This is from the Paramount Presents line. This is a new movie. I actually heard about this one, was it last year? It's been a while. I was like, how come the physical media hasn't come out yet? It did kind of underwhelm in theaters. I don't think the marketing was very good for it, but everybody I know who has seen this movie seems to have liked it. I did not see it yet. It's based on Robbie Williams, who's apparently a singer who's famous in the UK. I'd never even heard of him. Weta actually did the work for this, the special effects company Weta, who does the apes for the new Planet of the Apes series, and I think they knock it out of the park. And it's basically a biopic, and they make Robbie Williams into an ape in the movie. So I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of strange, and that's probably why the marketing was kind of confused on how to market the thing. But people who have seen it seem to have liked it, and it is getting a physical media release from Paramount Presents. It does have a little fold out here for the box, so that's kind of a neat little feature there. We've also got Presents coming out on Blu-ray. This is a supernatural ghost movie. Not really my type of movie. I'm not really into the paranormal, horror movies or suspense movies, stuff like that. It's not really my type of movie. But that one is coming out. Lucy Liu's in this, actually, so I thought that was kind of interesting. There's a Blu-ray option as well as a 4K option. We've also got Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy. I'm sure you guys were waiting on this one. Was this the fourth or fifth Bridget Jones movie? These definitely have an audience. It's not me, but they have an audience. And that one is coming out on Blu-ray. Only, no 4K for that. We've also got The Prosecutor coming out with Donnie Yen. I love Donnie Yen from the Ip Man trilogy. Technically, there was an Ip Man 4. It's kind of disposable. I'm just going to continue to call it a trilogy, to be honest. But this is a Chinese action movie. It is subtitled, if that bothers you. It doesn't really bother me, particularly in action movies. It doesn't really bother me. And then there is a 4K option as well. So both of those are getting released here. We've also got Woman in the Yard, the last movie we'll talk about in the new release section here. And I've heard pretty bad things about this movie. It's literally about a woman in the yard, and I guess she's like slowly moving towards this guy in a house. I don't really know much about this. That's like the very loose description that I was given about this. And I think she represents death. I don't know. If you've seen Women in the Yard, let me know what you think about it. Everything I remember hearing about when it came out, like 2 months ago, was that it was a terrible movie. But I haven't seen it, so I won't say one way or the other. I'm just saying what I've heard about it. All right, kicking off the Steelbooks section, we're circling back around to Captain America Brave New World. It is getting a 4K Steelbook. It is dual packed here, and I don't really care for this art, to be honest. It looks very boring, very bland. It actually kind of reminds me of the Change Obama poster from the 2008. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I really don't like this Steelbook. Let's put it side by side versus with the Falcon and Winter Soldier Steelbook that was released. Now, I don't like the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. I do like both of those characters from previous MCU outings, but I did not like that show at all. But I do think that the Steelbook was awesome. Attila Zarka, who's the artist, did a lot of these Disney Plus Steelbooks. I think he knocked it out of the park with all of them. So even though I don't like the show, I can objectively look at the Steelbook and say this looks great and is far better than what the Brave New World Steelbook looks like. That is my opinion, but definitely comment and let me know which one you prefer in the comment section below. And Mickey 17 is also getting a Steelbook with a pretty similar design that what the basic 4K has, just a little bit more zoomed out. I think it's kind of another kind of boring Steelbook. A lot of these Steelbooks, sometimes they might have like raised lettering or something like that that is not represented in the Steelbook. I don't really see that being the case here. You may have some gloss there with some matte on the sides, and maybe that'll make it pop a little bit more in hand. But regardless, this one is getting a Steelbook 4K release that is dual packed. We also got A Knight's Tale, the Heath Ledger movie, coming out with a Steelbook. Now, there is no standard 4K announced right now, so the only way to get this one on 4K is to get this Steelbook. This is the first time it's being released in 4K, and they're asking $41 for it, which is right on the cusp of what I'm willing to pay. I commented in the last few videos that my limit, my red line for Steelbooks is $40. I'm not going to pay more than $40 for a Steelbook. Why? Because I can, buy 6, 7, 8 plus movies. If I'm buying used, I can buy 10 plus movies at the used bookstore, usually for $40. And I'd rather build out my collection in that area than spend $41 or over $40 on a Steelbook. So it's right on that cusp of what I would expect for this. And I already own A Knight's Tale. I already own it on Blu-ray. I'm sure the 4K is probably going to be an upgrade, but I already have it. So, this isn't one I'm going to upgrade, but I do think it's a pretty cool looking steelbook. Pretty simple, but that one is coming out, and I know a lot of people are fans of the movie. It's been a little while since I've seen it, but I do remember liking it. We've also got Starman coming out with a 4K steelbook as well. This one is also $41, same price as the Knight's Tale 4K, although Walmart still has Starman listed for $56, which is what it originally was when it first dropped, which is way too high, obviously. Now, this has never had a standalone 4K release, but Starman was released previously on 4K through the Columbia Classics Volume 4 set. I have Volume 1 is the only one that I own, but that one was released in the Volume 4 set. So this is the first time individually being released on 4K. No standard 4K individual release, so this is pretty much the only individual 4K option. Now, again, I've already got the Blu-ray. I'm probably not going to upgrade. The steelbook looks fine. I'm not super big on it, but it's not a bad looking steelbook. But again, I already own it, so it's one that I'm probably not going to upgrade. But again, $41, right on that red line for me, over $40. It's kind of hard for me to press, especially on an older movie. But that one is coming out, and then we've also got Kingdom of Heaven 4K steelbook coming out, which includes both cuts of the movie. I have seen both cuts of the movie. Now, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I always thought it was okay. It was good enough for me to watch both versions of the movie. This is the first time on 4K for Kingdom of Heaven. There's no standard 4K release. It's a 4K steelbook premium release only. They're asking $56 for this movie, which is absolutely insane.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Maybe it'll drop down to 41 like, Starman and A Knight's Tale did. And Amazon does honor those price drops if that's the case. They actually sold out with these pre-orders last week. But as of filming this, they do have some more in stock. It's back up for pre-order, but it's still at that $56 mark, which is just crazy. I do think that this art could be really, really cool if they actually did some embossing on the mask here. And it's hard to tell, but it does look like maybe that's the case. And if they did, this could be a very, very good looking steelbook. And maybe that's why people are paying high prices for it. I don't know. I do already own the Blu-ray. I couldn't find it to share with you guys. It's somewhere on my shelves, but I couldn't find it. It's not organized very well at the moment. I got to organize my shelves. But here's what the rest of the design looks like. You got the sword on the back and you got the 3 discs there. Let's move on to some Lionsgate stuff. We've got Law Abiding Citizen, which is an Amazon exclusive released, as I talked about in my Lionsgate video 2 weeks back. Lionsgate is releasing their steelbooks in one of two ways, either as an Amazon exclusive or exclusive through their new Lionsgate Limited website. Please check out my Lionsgate video if you're interested to know more about how Lionsgate is releasing their stuff. But anyway, Law Abiding Citizens is getting an Amazon exclusive release. They're asking $35, which is typical of what they have released or of the rest of this year. They released Forbidden Kingdom, Snowpiercer, and Plane just released as well. So, it's typical pricing for Amazon, and I haven't seen any of those drop below 35. So that one is coming out on 4K with a pretty cool looking steelbook. And then another Lionsgate release we have through the Lionsgate Limited website. You can only get it through Lionsgate Limited website, is this kick-ass 4K release, and this is actually a variation of a previous 4K steelbook, which was white, if I remember correctly. So this one's black as opposed to the white release for the previous 4K. A little bit of a color swap there. I actually did look at both of them. I thought that the black looks better, so I do actually like this steelbook more. And there actually are a couple special features on this 4K release that are exclusive to the Lionsgate Limited website. And I think that's the first time we've seen them do that, where they have special features only through the Lionsgate Limited website. So I think they're asking $32 or $33 for it, which is the cheapest thing we've seen on the Lionsgate Limited website. The real problem with Lionsgate, as I mentioned in my other video, is they really need to figure out something with the shipping, because it's $8 to ship a single steelbook. So, you factor that cost in, even at $33 plus tax, you're paying more than $40. It's past that red line for me personally. So really need to figure out something that can give collectors a little bit of a better deal there. But anyway, the Crazies is also coming out, and this is through the Lionsgate Limited website, with a cool removable slip there with the red eyes and the lenses and all that. I think it's a great looking steelbook. I don't really care so much for this movie, but I know a lot of people like the Crazies a lot more than what I expected, because I posted a poll on my community tab and I listed all 3 Lionsgate releases that I just talked about: Law Abiding Citizens, Kick-Ass, and the Crazies. And it was very, very close. 43% for Kick-Ass and then 42% for the Crazies. And it was tied up for a very, very long time there. So Kick-Ass just barely pulled around by like that 1%, which is kind of crazy. And then Law Abiding Citizens way lacking behind at 14%. Did not expect those results. And thank you to everyone who voted in this poll. I will be posting other polls in the future that we'll then talk about in other videos in the future as well. So thank you again. Let's move into the Wanted Steelbook. This one is from Shout Factory. It is on 4K. Wanted did have a previous 4K release a couple years back, so I believe this is the same release here from Shout Factory. This is a Walmart exclusive, the only place to get it, and I believe it was listed at $30. If it's still available. It was listed for $30. Really cool looking steelbook. You know, I've already got Wanted, so it's not really one that I'm necessarily going to upgrade. And the steelbook does look pretty cool. But that one, again, Walmart exclusive for that one. We also got a Gladiator 2 movie collection. This is the steelbook. Basically, this is just them packing the steelbook for Gladiator 1 and Gladiator 2 together. So you can get both of them at the same time. They not really new releases, but you're actually going to be able to pick these up together. And then we've also got Masters of the Universe, Revelation, and Revolution. They're only asking $30 for it, which is not that bad, but I heard a lot of bad things about this. This is the Netflix show. I like that Netflix is putting out the physical media, even though it's not one that I'm necessarily interested in. I'm never considered myself a big He-Man fan. Growing up, I watched more Thundercats, reruns of Thundercats as far as the 80s stuff goes than I did He-Man. But I do have some friends who are older than me who do like He-Man, and they really hated this show. But anyway, I remember thinking the animation looked good. Just not one I was super interested in, and a lot of negativity made me not want to check it out. But if you did like it, it's cool that you guys are getting a physical media release here with a pretty cool looking steelbook. Let's go ahead and move on to the older movies getting releases. First up, we've got Lilo and Stitch coming to 4K for the first time. They're asking $32 for this one. Obviously, this is like to coincide with the new Lilo and Stitch live action remake. I really am sick of these Disney live action remakes. I've been sick of them since The Lion King, so very early on. But if I'm being honest, I don't think the live action looks that bad. But regardless, I just would rather watch the original, and so this one is coming out on 4K. If you don't want to spend the $32 for the new 4K, you can still get the 2-film collection on Blu-ray for cheaper. I think it's like under $20. You're getting Lilo and Stitch 1 and 2. However, 4K does have some special features. That 2-pack I didn't see have special features, if I remember correctly. So it all depends on what you're looking for, but it is cool that this one is getting a 4K release. We've also got Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow from Shout Factory. This is the first time coming to 4K. I've only seen part of this movie one time. The whole movie, if I remember correctly, was just like green screen. It's pretty dated from what I remember. Again, it's been so long since I've seen it, so I don't know. Maybe my opinion would change. Maybe the 4K makes it look better. I have no idea. But I know this movie does have a little bit of a cult following for some people, so you're getting a 4K release there. We've also got What Lies Beneath coming to 4K as well. Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. I vaguely remember this movie. I just saw it around the time it came out, 25th anniversary, so 25 years ago. So I probably saw like 24, 23 years ago, so quite some time ago. But that one's coming out on 4K. We've also got Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino coming out from Shout as well on 4K, I believe for the first time. And then we've got May, which is a Blu-ray Lionsgate Limited release. So Lionsgate Limited is, stretching out a little bit more. They really were just doing the Steelbook exclusives. Apparently they're having some other exclusives through their website, and this is one of those movies. It's a movie from 2002. Not super familiar with it. I am familiar with Vestron Video. I do have a couple Vestron Video releases on the shelf, but that one is, again, exclusive through Lionsgate Limited website. We also got Wayne's World 2 coming to 4K for the first time. I was wondering how long it was going to take them to do this. They released Wayne's World on 4K. This is the Steelbook release. And I was like, when are we going to get Wayne's World 2? I really wanted a 2-pack Steelbook, but, I was like, whatever. And then I went ahead and got this one. I haven't opened it yet to watch it. But, I'm looking forward to checking out Wayne's World 2 on 4K. We've also got Kingpin coming out. This is again from Kino Lorber on 4K. We've also got Vice Squad coming out. I've never seen this one. That one's another one from Kino. Another one from Kino, Crack in the World. This is a movie I've not seen either, but yeah, I really like this style of art. Like, this is very 70s. I don't know if this movie's from the 70s. This poster screams 70s to me. Let's see when the movie came out.
A few moments later.
1965. So, okay. Well, it seems like a little bit more 70s than it does 60s to me. But hey, it's 1965 is when that movie came out. We also got Prophecy on 4K coming out. Again, another one I'm not super familiar with. That one's from Kino Lorber. I'll Sleep When I'm Dead. Another Kino Lorber release there on Blu-ray with Clive Owen. And then moving on to some Arrow stuff, we got the Andromeda Strain coming to 4K from Arrow. I'm trying to remember if I've seen Andromeda Strain. I want to say that I have, but I don't remember it that well. We've also got Jason Goes to Hell from Arrow getting released. Pretty far away from Halloween for it, but hey, anytime's a good time for Friday the 13th, I guess. Jason X is also coming out. Me and my friends, we used to have cassettes, and we would record radio podcasts before podcast was a thing. Yes, we would record a radio show that we would just watch back. And Jason X, I just remember talking about a lot on that radio show for some reason that we did for fun. Moving into some Criterion releases, we've got In the Heat of the Night coming out on 4K. This one's from 1967. We also got The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. Wow, I'm so uncultured. I don't know how to say that.
You uncultured swine!
But that one is coming out from a Criterion release, 1964. We've also got The Wind Will Carry Us, another Criterion release. And With Nail and I, another Criterion release. This movie's from 1999, and this is just a crazy cover. You can tell I have not seen any of these Criterion movies, but I do want to talk about it because I know a lot of people like Criterion. Looking at this reminds me of the Gorillaz. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the art from the Gorillaz, the band. So anyway, we've also got How to Get Ahead in Advertising, another Criterion release. And then Three Musketeers and the Four Musketeers from Criterion. Christopher Lee's in this one. Yeah, I've never seen that either. We've also got a movie from 1977, Killers of Sheep. So a lot of Criterion releases. If you're a Criterion guy, there's a lot of Criterion releases this month. And to close out the older movies here, we've got High Society from their Warner Archive collection coming to 4K. Let's move on to the TV and box sets with Landman. Season 1 is getting its physical media release. It actually made my list of my favorite TV shows of 2024. And it finished okay. I think one of the things with Taylor Sheridan shows is I just don't think his endings are that great. But anyway, I do think Landman was pretty solid. If you like Taylor Sheridan's other stuff, you're probably going to like this one too. Billy Bob Thornton's performance is really what sells it for me. I also really like John Hamm, and Demi Moore's in this one too, which she doesn't have a big role. And I was like, man, I feel like something's going to happen where she's going to get some more time to shine in season 2. And it looks like that may be the case. But anyway, that one's getting a DVD release. There's also a Blu-ray release. No 4K for that one. We also got Dune Prophecy coming out, which is getting a Blu-ray as well as a 4K release with different art. I didn't watch this one. I do have HBO. I do have Max. And I do like Dune Part 1 and 2. However, I really heard nothing about this thing. I heard mostly negative to forgettable things about this show. So if you guys like Dune Prophecy, comment and let me know. Believe it or not, I have checked out things that you guys have commented on telling me that is good in the past. So if you guys think Dune Prophecy is worth a watch, let me know in the comment section below. We've also got Street Fighter, the animated series, which is getting a 26 episode Blu-ray it's standard def on Blu-ray. So it's a Blu-ray disc. However, the episodes are in standard def. They've had other types of releases like this, and basically that way they can fit all of the episodes on one disc, and they aren't spending the money on trying to upgrade the quality. So anyway, I never saw Street Fighter, the animated series. Obviously, it's an older show. Star Trek, the 10 movie collection for $48. So it is a pretty good deal. Now, this is on Blu-ray. They have since released all of these movies on 4K, so all the 4K options are out there. and they've released multiple different sets of Star Trek movies over the years. I mean, I have this set. I just pulled my Blu-ray stuff off the shelf. I do have the 4Ks as well. So they have both of these releases, and I think you can get both of these for about the same price. This is going to be a better box. Now, the reason they're able to charge $48 for this is not only because it's Blu-ray and not 4K, but CBS makes terrible box sets, okay? And I already know, looking at this is the CBS cheap box set. And there's no special features featured on here either. So you're just getting the core movies with no special features. Again, main selling point for this is the fact that it's under $50 for 10 movies, which is not a bad deal at all. You're basically getting paying $5 per movie here. However, you're probably going to end up having to buy another box for it. But that one's coming out. And then we've also got Blaxploitation Classics Volume 1. So I guess if this one sells well, they'll do another volume. There's 12 discs here in this one. This one is from Shout Factory. There's 6 movies, range from 1972 to 1975. We've got Across 110th Street, Coffee, Hell Up in Harlem, Black Caesar, Truck Turner, and Sheba Baby. Now, the funny thing about this is that I may have seen some of these. They actually used to show a lot of these old blaxploitation movies from the 70s on Saturdays, on TV whenever I was younger. So I would see some of these, and I couldn't tell you what the names of any of them were. So it is interesting that this one is actually getting a physical media release. And then we'll close this out by talking about the Captain America 4 movie collection. That's right back to Captain America again. A Captain America movie without Captain America. You can get that package with 3 actual Captain America movies with Steve Rogers Captain America, who is Captain America. I love Sam Wilson as Falcon. He's not Captain America. That's just my take. That's just my perception of it. But regardless, that one is an option that's out there if you guys don't own any of the movies. It's always good whenever they have more options for collectors, as I've said in the past. So anyway, that wraps up the new release wall for May 2025. Again, if there's anything I didn't talk about here that you guys are interested in, continue that conversation in the comments below so other people can check it out. And let me know what you are looking forward to the most this month. I always look forward to seeing what it is you guys are interested in picking up the most each month when I do the new release wall videos. And I just saw a comment right before I started filming this video where somebody is new to the channel and asked me to continue doing these new release wall videos. And yes, I will continue doing these new release wall videos every month. At this point, I've been consistent for over a year doing it every month, although I've been doing it on and off for a couple years. So I'm trying to continue rolling with those. So if you guys do like the new release wall videos that I do every month, I guess hit the like button. Anyway, I just want to thank everybody for sticking around on this video. Thank you, subscribers. All of you are awesome. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geetrue64, and I'll always tell you the truth.